Hello, everybody. Welcome to Materia D&D, where we play D&D our way. We're getting a little bit of a late start just because everyone's lives is hectic and chaotic right now. But we are picking up on session 164 of the Crass Menagerie story, where most recently they've been having discussions and interactions back in the city of Whitlaw. After teleporting there, due to the need to escape an unintentional visit to the choke. The menagerie had learned that their lizard folk friends seemingly were discovered, and that the military presence led by one Hohen Thafnir uh, seemingly weeded them out and took many of the lizard folk captured, and is being holding them over in the Thorn District in the Island Garden, which is essentially the dungeon area. The menagerie did interact with Afuma, the leader of the Unveilers here, the head of the Alabaster Museum here, uh, giving information discussions of like what they saw in the west over in the open plains, a little bit of detail about their interactions in the sculpted dimension, uh, some of their initial findings on the Hendecolite, and just asking a bunch of questions. And Ofuma now has some of his best minds trying to do some sort of archiving and research to assist the group as best he can. The menagerie then also took a little bit of a venture over to Tabard's, which was the first time for Cielo and Ben to enter this interdimensional mega trading post, essentially, where Tabard was not there, but they met Tam Tam. Tam Tam is very fond of Cielo, thinks he's the cutest thing she's ever seen in her whole life, and used his innate skills to help her cheat on her own self-restriction limits. Thank you for lockpicking, Cielo. But
Wasn't
she
that
did also.
funny?
Yeah, it was dope. Um, on a lock that literally had a DC of 35. So, like, good job. um, but uh, but yeah, the Tabard did eventually get summoned via some artifice that he is in possession of, coming through the wardrobe into his interdimensional space. More discussions were had, some more insight about the Hendecolite was had, and then the urgency that you guys need to go back out there and do information gathering and meet up with a very pissed off Opal, who for the last 2.5, 3 days has multiple times a day been trying to reach you guys, but because of the locations that you have been at, had been unable to pierce the choke, and in fact she was taking damage for trying to reach you guys. But right before leaving Tabards, Ben did acquire a suit of adamantine armor, which is being held in his cosmic coffer, his shield. And the group did essentially get, I think it was 2 potions of healing each, essentially. I think that's how the math worked out. So there's a good restock on some 66 plus 6 healing potions for across the group. And as they ventured out of Tabards, saying their goodbyes, Roque very reluctantly saying goodbye to the stuffed sloth. It was up to Roque to send the boys off on their next leg of their journey, where he decided to teleport them as best as he could to Pew Lamb, Opal 14, and the Jungle Ruins. 1, 2, 3, oh crap was said, and just out in front of Tabards, with time and space ripped, was ripped asunder around you, went all weird, and you guys were shunted uh, many hundreds of miles, landing not quite at your destination, but fairly close because you can actually see the dense canopy of the jungle where your allies, friends have been waiting to hear from you. So I believe, if I look at the stream correctly, yeah, everyone is good. Okay, so that's how they indicate what page you're on now. Okay, so on the Whitlaw to West Green to Open Plains map, you guys are represented by Pebble on the map, more or less. As you guys did land, you were close to the jungle, but not quite at the ruins. You are able to see, looking at the sky and looking to the west, you can see that heading to the west would be where the jungle is. Just to give you kind of an idea of just the density of the jungle, which you guys have traversed, but I found a good overhead image to kind of do in there. So we're talking thick. Like it is tree upon tree upon tree. This is a drone shot from an aerial footage, just to kind of give you like an idea of what kind of inspired the jungle in this area. Now there is of course natural breakings, but the majority of the jungle is going to be just dense, high canopy treetops. Very little light actually gets through. Um, all manner of biting and stinging insects. Lots of different types of native monkeys and muddled and crowned eagles that hunt in the canopies, bats that roost in the trees at night or during the day. But we'll see as you guys venture in if that is where you decide to go. So, it wasn't too late as you guys woke up. You woke up in the morning, having spent the night within the Alabastras, had your meeting and discussions again with Ofuma. Then a jaunt and a little bit of a discussion with Tabard, so we can ballpark it and say it's late morning or right around the afternoon. As yeah, maybe one, but timey-wimey time zone stuff, we'll kind of keep it kind of loose. Yeah, I don't think we've ticked over to the next day. I can make sure on my calendar that I have it. Let's see. Yeah, I have it on the 31st right now as well. I didn't switch it, but that's what I have. All right. So, yeah. No, 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 no. Yeah, you guys, based on the location, um, I went ahead and just kind of gave you a rough pin of where you guys are. Let me go ahead and put this back. Because the teleportation was fairly accurate for your friend, for Roque. So you get a good sense that, yeah, you guys are off by about a day or so, maybe more because of how dense the jungle is. But you're definitely the the border where the jungle meets the plains is, within 15 minutes of you guys, maybe or so. That's not very far. And you just know that you've landed somewhere to the east of the jungle because there's only jungle to the west of you, essentially. So,
How the hell did we get here? I was about to turn around and be like, can we go back in? But what? Fuck.
you can go ahead and give me a perception check as you call out. 33. As you're kind of scanning, no signs of people besides your group. Uh, they're probably waiting for you at the ruins where you guys were supposed to probably rendezvous. You don't know exactly where the ruins are. You have an idea, as you guys had previously split your paths before entering the jungle. And having previously walked through the jungle, you know that, as I mentioned, it's dense, it's muggy, it's dark, lots of things that like to bite and sting. It's unpleasant. Let's go ahead and speak for Rock. He's like, I got a good feeling. I mean, oh, it's the right jungle. I'm 87% certain it's the right jungle. Um, well, we if we if you if I remember, last time we came in kind of from the south, right? And they were going to travel about a day's north. So if we're on the west, maybe it's going to be about a day's travel, or if we're on the east, maybe a day's travel west. I don't know. Yeah. So, you okay there?
If you
Yeah.
thumb your
So
chin that hard, you're gonna put a dent in it.
what the disjointed voice said. I don't know where he is. I don't see him.
Oh,
Um.
sorry.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
It's these shadows. I blend in real easily.
Yep. Um. But yeah, I mean, I'm expecting that at some point I'm gonna have a yelling opal in my head, so we can probably just get started. Or I don't know how to tell her exactly where we are, unless if we find some kind of distinct landmarks. I mean, previously we knew that on the on the map we were, and because you guys do essentially, like, whenever I give you a map, I kind of assume that a map is air quotes given to you, right? Kind of the lay of the land. Um, I mean, we know that when we entered from the south last time, it would have been about a day's worth of travel north. So I'm assuming we just do our best, and hopefully the ruins are that we'll find some sort of natural pathing or something that kind of leads to it. I don't know. I mean, maybe. Do we have anyone that has the ability to? Oh, actually, now I'm actually kind of looking what magical options Rock has. I don't remember. I know you guys have a solution. I know you guys have a solution. Yeah, I know you have one, but I don't. I
I do have find the path, but I don't think it's going to help us. Yeah, I was looking at it.
look to the materia version. It's not the bullshit as written
Okay.
version.
So I gotta look at the material version then. Give me a second. I gotta pull up
Yes.
the document because I actually
Yeah,
have it memorized. I have memorized it just in case we need it.
good deal.
But okay, I'll look it up. But if you say it works, you say it works. I'll cast find the path.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's actually like not a it's not like um no. It also just kind of helps you. And it also it's kind of we gave it. Yes, it's no concentration, but we're also kind of applying the find traps logic to it, where it's not just like yeah, it tells you where to go, but it's not gonna tell you like this. That the main one is no concentration, but it's also how the DM runs it, right? And the DM runs it so that it's not like how do I want to explain it? Like often when you have someone run find the path, it's just like you just know to head east, keep heading east, just keep going. Like oh yeah, it's like, here I don't.
In 200 feet, turn left.
Yeah, it's not gonna be that accurate, but it'll be
And
like you
Adam, this is the
can.
only reason why I didn't say I was going to use it because it says
Uh,
if it's a location that you are familiar with. I'm not
So,
familiar with this location, so I don't know how the material one is. I'm still pulling it
well,
up.
so that's where it comes down to the definition of familiar with, right? So I would argue, and maybe I'm giving you guys too much benefit of the doubt, but Ben, you were part of the expedition that went up this way, right? You were part of the group that you traveled with Pulam 14 and them, and then you guys ventured your separate ways. But it's like familiarity can be argued like you know of it, you know who is there, you know the rough location that it is, you have a
Oh,
visual representation of it on a map, right? That's familiarity.
I'm not arguing with you. It's just
Yeah.
I just want to make sure that what I'm
Yeah,
thinking of is actually going to. And that's
I
why I
get you.
didn't. That's why I didn't
Yeah,
say it to begin with because it says familiar with, and I've never been there.
yeah, and that's kind of where the wording of familiar is up to interpretation, and I appreciate the erroring on it, but I mean, unless if you wanted to argue to the other one, to the contrary,
Oh
my
no, no,
understanding is
no.
yeah,
I get what you're saying because familiar is it's subjective, right?
yeah,
The word familiar. So yeah, I'll
yeah,
be like, Bill will go, I may have something. Well, actually, I can't talk normal. May
yes.
may have something work.
Just for fun, someone roll me an intelligence check on Rock. I don't want to do any rolls. I just want someone to roll.
I don't have rocks thing up.
No, just intelligence, just intelligence. 21. He's gonna be like, he's gonna look at Ben and be like, look at the jungle, look at Ben. Yeah, we should do this. He sits down, and then he'll take the 10 minutes to link you guys up since you guys are gonna go somewhere very dense and you need to be able to communicate.
I don't know. I felt genuinely sick. Like, I've had that happen before when I'm going through something that I shouldn't be. I don't know what it was exactly, though. Oh, that's helped so much recently. You remember the choke? Everybody was like, I can't breathe. And I was like, it was fine.
Just rub it in. Yeah.
Up to the time you almost died.
Eh,
Well, I mean,
No, he was in the choke when it happened.
I
He
might have
was
been dying, but I could breathe.
he was choking on his own blood, is what you're saying? Yeah. Okay, so 10 minutes will pass. Ben, all of you feel that little slight buzz as you're able to communicate to each other telepathically.
Yeah,
Keeping
Ben will give Rock a knowing nod, and because he really is, I won't say self-conscious, but he's aware that his speaking is sometimes difficult. So he'll give Rock that little knowing nod of thank you. And then I will cast or start casting Find the Path. It's going to take me 1 minute.
all right. Um, so yeah. So as the 1 minute, easy enough to cast. You guys are here. As you're kind of on this borderland between the jungle and the open plains. You see some birds flying. The sky overhead. It looks like um that band of storms is maybe larger, was it more than just bands, or is a larger set of storms that had previously hit Whitlaw as it was wet when you guys were originally arriving. Those the storms had traveled this direction. It hadn't necessarily rained here yet, but you do see that like there's a fair number of clouds. Some of them are definitely more low lying because they're a little bit darker. But it is, as mentioned, like say like right around noontime. Uh, but Ben, you can still see the sun, and you feel the little warmth coming as it pierces through the clouds, and then you see kind of like it contrasted to the kind of the overcast dark, not the dark, but the overcastness, you get essentially a guiding light, kind of like light pierces the clouds, and then you just kind of see it shining at one point at the as indicating where you want to enter the jungle. And that's essentially, you believe that's your spell telling you, well, time to get going.
Okay, so I'll say telepathically, she has shown me the way, and I'll point in that general direction. Now, I will say this is going to be the most direct route. It may not be the easiest route.
Well, I mean, if you want me to plot a trail, I mean, I could lead us if it gets. I don't know if we should take a left or a right. I'll be able to tell.
Okay.
Let's go the direct route, and
I,
then if I think we should branch off, we will. Does that sound okay?
okay. Adam, out of game, am I the only
Mhm.
one that sees the path, or is it like everybody sees it? Because
This is it's yeah. In this instance, this entry point, I'm gonna say, is like lit up in golden, like
no,
this
no, no. I'm
light.
talking about the path from my.
Oh, it's for you. You're the source.
Okay.
You're the source. So the big thing is, what's nice is, like, in Materia, you don't have to concentrate on it, right? So you kind of
Okay.
have 24 hours. You have the idea of where you're going, and the path will be visualized in different means based on just how you're traversing.
Well, I just wanted to see if
Yeah.
Cielo could see it as well, then he could make decisions without my input. But
No,
I
but
will,
unfortunately, yeah,
yeah, that's fine.
you're the. Yep.
I'll be like, okay, good, yeah.
Yeah.
So I'll tell Cielo, I'll tell you the general direction that we're heading, but I trust your instincts over find
Yeah,
the easiest path, not the most
yeah.
direct.
Teamwork. I mean, you get the. It's like driving a boat. You got the heading, but I'll chart the course.
Yeah,
You say
yeah.
driving a boat, he's like, well, he
No.
said, well, first off, he said driving a boat, so that should be your first clue.
I'm like, what?
The instant red.
Um. Well. I got a 15.
All right. Yeah, you're not necessarily. Yeah, like, you don't understand the whole
He's
concept
probably.
of driving, but yeah.
I mean, it's not that big of a win, but I do want to kind of give you something just out of fun because that's just what I want to do.
Yeah.
I've probably been on a boat, but in like something resembling a boat, but in like a lake. So not really, no, never.
So not seafaring is what you're saying.
No,
Yeah,
I have no idea what I'm talking about.
yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
He snuck on a rich man's boat.
I know what a boat is, at least.
We've driven a Yakata.
Yakta. Yeah.
Yes.
So yeah, as you guys, as Ben, you're kind of pointing out the illuminated portion, as like essentially the god ray kind of pierces the clouds and kind of giving everyone a initial visual of where to enter. Rock will, because you did a 21, he'll say, all right, we'll need about, remember, so like 50 minutes of moving, and then give me 10 minutes to keep the bond going. So, because I can't, right, if I can, I'd like to save my energy and just, use some time. So, but okay. And Rock will kind of point for Pebble, and Pebble will land on your shoulder, Cielo, because you are our survivalist. And Rock will just be like, just in case we lose you, I got Pebble on you.
Oh, yeah, that's fine. Is it like a leash or something?
Let's just say yes. And he smiles.
Oh, God, I hate
His
that.
little. Yeah. Don't worry, it's not going to restrict your movement. It's just a leash that we can find you.
Oh, that's good, at least. Well, if you put it that way, that's fine. Do you know where I am
Okay.
now? No, I'm kidding.
And you
I'm right
see,
behind you.
yeah, no, and you just see, the rest of you just see Rock kind of, his eyes glaze over. He's like, "Yep, you're looking at my butt." And he unglazes his eyes again. Eee.
Well, true. I'm not looking at your butt. Come on.
Okay,
I'm...
you're looking at my
Anyways,
broad.
time to go. Forget about butts and whatever. God.
Okay. All right. So the entry point is fairly obvious, and all of you have traversed this jungle before. So, is there a marching order, or is there anything that you guys care about? How's the approach? I understand that Ben needs to kind of tell you where you're going. Cielo is probably gonna do his best to plot a safe course, but I just want to understand what's going on.
Ben, just keep pointing in the direction that I'm supposed to go, but follow my feet. If you can't see me, I'm leaving tracks.
Carlos in the back. All right. Actually, I could do this real quick just to have a not an 100% accurate, but just something so I can kind of visualize it. Token layer. There you guys are. Yeah, right now, but just because I don't want to bother. All right. So like, it does look kind of like the Amulet, doesn't it? Eeh. That is actually just CGI art, but it works. Or AI art. GM layer. There we go. All right. More or less, so I can kind of keep a mental picture of how you guys are moving. All right. So as you guys kind of crest through the foliage, the greenery, the trees are tall. They're ranging anywhere from, especially on the exterior, where you get some of the more hardy trees that have been able to survive. They are 40 feet before you start getting into the branches that make up to the canopy. Very quickly, within about 10 minutes or so of entering the jungle, the amount of light is drastically reduced, as maybe a quarter of the light actually makes it through the dense canopies and foliages, and it gives it this kind of a darkened tone, but it also gives it this kind of greenish yellow coloration, as a lot of the light gets bounced and refracted and kind of makes it just it makes it kind of eerie and dark in here. But immediately upon just marching through, you are aware of just the amount of life that is in this jungle. Most of it being insects, as they very quickly decide to swarm and start biting and stinging as some fresh food has entered. Uh,
Well,
okay.
don't we also have the insect repellent stuff?
Do
You
we?
did.
We got, but but I would assume we would have bought enough for ourselves, knowing that we're coming to the jungle. We're not dumb, right?
I mean, you definitely.
Oh,
And
okay.
I'm just dumb
I
enough,
assume
I'll
we
have you
did.
know.
I assume we did. So that was just me.
Mm.
I'll let Adam make that call then, because we didn't technically say it.
Uh, I don't recall. It was Opal. She said, "I remember to bring bug repellent."
Remember, we had a special thing that was kind of like it was like a spray, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Um, Honestly, I don't think y'all got enough for everybody. Like, you got enough to like. You could use some, and by the time you get there, you'll still have some for Opal, but you'll use an amount up. Uh, if Ben, if you're concerned, you can go ahead and give me a nature check to try to see if there's some sort of natural way to protect yourselves.
Oh yeah, my -1. Here we go.
Oh wait, you do have medicine. You can use medicine as well. That's true.
Okay.
Oh yeah, that's
There we
true.
go.
Yeah.
Okay, so I will guidance myself.
And I will allow medicine.
That's why I love Materia.
It lets you actually play the game.
Oh, I got an 18 plus 10 is 28 plus 3, 31.
Okay. So you guys will walk slowly, drudging through. And about during the first stop, so around 50 minutes in, the amount of bites and stings is actually starting to just not only be painful, but it's just infuriating at this point, Ben. Um, Especially since they're getting into like crevices and stuff that is while I'm assuming you're not fully armored walking through here.
I would say I probably didn't at least have my boots on.
Yeah,
Because I don't want to get them jacked up. I just have my, well, I wouldn't have my, no, I have my boots. I just don't have my, I forgot what they're called. Not greaves. What cover your boots? Oh, you know what I'm talking about. The covering that goes over the boot to protect your feet.
oh yeah. Wow.
Oh,
I don't even remember what they're called right now
I
either.
can't remember. So I probably wouldn't have that on. I wouldn't have the pauldrons on.
Yeah, but you got like the central
Basically,
chest.
yeah,
Which,
vital organs and then my legs, basically.
yeah. But they're still managing to get like under. So yeah,
Sabatins, that's it.
yeah. So, but yeah, they're still able to like get like into like under your armor and like kind of get around the chest and everything, and they're finding little thinner pieces of fabric, and they're able to bite through and kind of get in places where you can't squash them. They just get irritated. And while Rock has gathered you guys to kind of sit and chill for 10 minutes, as he's doing the second casting of the telepathic bond, you can't help but just scan and look, and you're moderately desperate to find relief to this. And as you're kind of looking, you see that there's these tan and brown monkeys that are just, throughout the trees, and they're kind of keeping an eye on you. But as you like kind of peer, you realize that there's very few insects actually buzzing around and swarming around them. And something you kind of notice is they have this almost like this purple paste that they kind of just have like kind of worked into their fur. Not a ton of it, but a little bit of it. And as you're kind of looking and scanning, you see that there's these round bulbous, like imagine like a grape, like a single grape, but it's about the size of your fist. And it's got this
Okay.
really beautiful, deep purple color. And at the bottom of it, there's like 3 or 4 little spiky prongs that kind of stick out, and they kind of go from this purple color to this very bright and offensive yellow color, usually a warning that it's toxic. But you kind of associate the colors with it. You've heard of natural repellents, usually like with muds and stuff. And based on the color and the way that it's kind of worked into the fur, you're thinking that they're probably taking that fruit, maybe mashing it, and then just kind of applying it to their skin, to their
Okay,
fur.
so I'll go over there and I'll collect as much as I can. And
So yeah, so they are kind of high up, so you do have to coordinate with some of your friends to be able to get it. As they do kind of again, they're not in the canopy of the trees, but I should have done a better video. They're like these vines that kind of wrap around the tree,
got it. Okay,
and then
got it.
yeah.
I thought they were ground shrubs. Okay, so
Yeah.
I'll say Cielo, because we can still talk right now, right? So
Yeah.
Cielo, can you use those ugly looking fruit berries on that vine? And I'll point to some. I'm like, can you get as many as you possibly can carry, or just knock them down and I'll get them?
Oh yeah, sure. I'm just gonna shoot one with like if it's like if I can't reach it,
Yeah.
I'm gonna shoot it with the arrow and like knock him down.
Yeah. So go ahead and just roll me attack roll. Just anything besides a 1 is kind of what I'm looking for. Just to kind of
Plus 14.
Yeah, just don't natural 1 it. That's
28.
okay. You're perfect. Yeah. So very quickly, as Ben is kind of pointing them out, Cielo, and you start kind of getting ahead of Ben even as he's just pointing them out. And you're just and you're not worried about wasting ammunition because your ring magically creates it. So you and Ben, Yeah, you get about I would say a good dozen or so of these. They are, as I mentioned, they are pretty big. They're they're the size of a fist, and when you catch one, they're actually pretty dense. They probably weigh about 2 to 3 pounds each.
Okay.
So if you want to, you could add them to your inventory. Just purple. I don't know what you want to call them. Purple jungle repellent fruit.
I'll catch one and be like, "Are you sure these aren't dangerous?"
No, they're good.
How are you catching it?
Well, actually, after the first one, I'm like, so I'm gonna take my shield and have it go into the shield, so it kind of
Oh,
going into the void, and
okay.
then
So
that
you're
way it's not
actually
hitting the ground. So I'll just
got it.
and then I'll
So
pull them out as I need it.
Cielo,
Yep.
as you go to catch it, because you said you were going to catch one as it's
Yeah.
falling, go ahead and roll me a dexterity. It could be sleight of hand.
Okay. 29
Mm.
total.
And all right, and now give me just a nature check, which also you're very good at because you're a scout. But go ahead and give me a nature check.
Adam, you said
28 total.
12. Sorry.
Yeah, 12. 12, and just go ahead and mark them as 3 pounds each, just to keep it easy on the weight.
Got it.
So with the 20 total, you realize as it's falling that there's those yellow barbs at the bottom of the fruit. Probably don't want to touch those, so you very dexterously catch it around the fruit rather than catching it at the bottom, because as you're looking at it and you kind of lift the fruit up and you see probably that's like a deterrent just to make sure that the right animals eat the fruit or use the fruit. It would have given you a nasty sting. So they are poisonous in some respect.
Well, I wouldn't go eating these yet.
Oh, not for eating.
Oh.
And then I point to the monkeys. See, they have no bugs. I think this will keep the bugs off of
Oh.
us.
Wow.
All right, so
Then you
Ben,
have been watching me, haven't you?
Always, always. I kind of get like a little smirk.
so applying it is one thing though, Ben. Right? So any ideas of how you or what you want to do to apply it to yourselves?
Well, I guess it's gonna be trial and error while he's doing this. I'm gonna try cutting one open to see if is it a liquid inside? Is it a paste? Is it like the
Mhm.
meat of fruit? So then just
So
trial
as
and
you
error the first one.
Yes, as you cut through, are you doing delicate or just kind of plunging your knife in and
No,
just
no,
kind of
I'm gonna do delicate because I'm
like
messing with
layers?
something I've never
Got it.
messed with before. So I'll be like do a slice and kind of look at it, then do another
Gotcha.
slice.
So as you're kind of delicately running along the outer exterior, the skin on the fruit is actually kind of thick and a little bit on the leathery side, but you do manage to cut through it after like 3 or 4 runs of your dagger across the top because you're being gentle with it. And inside of it is like a creamy purple colored, almost like a custard texture. Uh, and as you put your blade and just press on it, this custard starts to bleed this deep violet liquid.
Okay.
And so it's
So
almost like a custardy sponge that if you push on it, that it bleeds that liquid out.
okay, so I'll kind of make it into like use that as kind of like an applicator.
Yep.
So I'll kind of cut around like a thin strip around it, leaving that meat exposed, kind of like the tip of a expo
Nice.
marker,
Yep.
and then I'll kind of just like run it down, like just like one little swipe down the top of my arm, not the
Mhm.
whole arm, but just like one little swipe, and kind of to see what happens with the bugs that are there.
Yeah, so as you kind of swipe it, it's got this it's not really getting on any of your skin because you are kind of covered, but like I said, there are little gaps. It's, um, you could imagine it being just slightly sticky just by looking at the liquid and the bug. You see like a couple of the mosquitoes that were kind of swarming your arm. They moved away as you put the paste there, but then they kind of land on your arm and then they just seem to like lose interest on your arm fairly quickly. Like they land and then start flying to another portion, kind of leaving you alone.
I'm like,
At
aha,
least,
boys, here we go. So I'll show them what I did and say, just not a lot, just a little bit, and this will help protect us from the bugs.
yeah. So to cover everyone, we'll say you'll need to use, let's say, there's 6 of you. 1 fruit will cover about 3 of you guys, so just go ahead and mark off 2 of the fruits.
Okay.
As all of you kind of take like the spongy custardy material and just kind of let it just kind of do some streaks on your arms, and it does alleviate. So it will prevent you guys from having to do Constitution saving throws as you're marching through here from the bug bites for the time being. So yeah, gotcha. So you're down to 10 of those fruits now.
Okay, and then I'll tell everybody keep an eye out for you more.
Okay, so it's it's a weird smell because it's got this savory, almost like it's got like this like when you have like bacon but that's too smoky. When you have like ham, like uncured ham, but it also has at the same time, so it's got the savory element, but then it's also got this not sickly sweet but sweet aspect to it, almost like it's ham and jam kind of put together. So you look at, it doesn't taste like either. You don't feel your tongue. Nah. It doesn't swell like it doesn't swell. But it's like when
Do
you
you
leave the dentist office after some work. I don't know where my tongue is. Am I biting my tongue? I can't tell.
do you let us
So
know that, Davis, or you start talking funny? Oh, so a natural antiseptic. Or it's, yeah. Well, it's a numbing agent in case you need to have something done. It will numb pain. I wonder if you could apply it to your weapon and cause issues with fighting someone. Let me know
Davis,
how much it numbs.
what was that? Sorry, Davis. Mhm. After about a couple minutes, Davis, your tongue starts to. Okay, I can feel my tongue again. That's not a very long period, just a brief. Um, so you guys are protected. The path at Ben is still pinging. You will need to start kind of veering to the north, essentially. They're just so while you're in here in this rather darker space, there, like as I mentioned, light does come through. Um, there's not a lot of ground vegetation. Um, so there's not a lot of shrubs. There's not a lot of bushes. There are some new life, but mostly in the form of seedlings that are likely going to, if they survive, grow into large trees. And the majority of the new life that's growing is from dead trees, trees that have expired and they've becoming reused and recycled within. The vast floor cover is going to consist of dead leaves and dead foliage, dead bark, a fair amount of bones actually, of just various animals that have likely been hunted and killed by the cycle of life that goes throughout here. Um, and there is just a fair amount of just dirt and soil. However, that doesn't mean that traversing it is not difficult because the ground here is very not leveled. It rises, it falls. There's cracks and crevasses and ravines that are not necessarily deep, but they're just enough to be a little annoying. Um, the roots of these trees are massive, and a lot of them do breach through the soil, just trying to expand out as much as they can. Um, Cielo, just because you are proficient in nature, you understand that a lot of these trees, just to be this size, that their root network probably goes on for about 3 to 6 miles each. So, the floor is very bumpy, but it's not in the sense of bumpy in the like what you would necessarily in a way that you guys are necessarily used to, even having traveled through here before. That being said, the bug biting is alleviated. You do hear all manners of different calls, and actually, I forgot to change the audio. That's what's wrong. Audio, audio, audio. I actually have jungle audio. I need to find where this one is. Heart of Nowhere. I wish in the audio player it would tell you what subfolder you put it in, so I could easily find where I have playing, or it would just give me the option to stop it playing. The second music. Where is it? Heart of Nowhere. There we go. Okay, cool. So, alright, so after another hour of traversing, kind of following the path, you do another pit stop. Rock re-ups the casting. Even with Cielo helping guide and assist, made it a lot easier with just a general understanding of the path, thanks to Ben's deity. It's still slow going, and I understand that mechanically you guys are moving fast, but it's just not easy to reverse. Yes.
Don't make me turn this around.
So, but at one point, I guess I should ask: is anyone doing anything in particular while you guys are walking through? Is there anything of interest? Anyone keeping an eye out for anything we're doing, or are you just kind of just trusting your guide and your path right now? Oh, nice. Okay.
Other than looking for possibly some of those fruits to,
Gotcha.
so we can give them to them as when we get their tam in them, not tam, but 14 of them.
Yeah. Oh boy. Yeah. Okay. Go ahead and give me a perception check then, Ben. Cielo, as you continue to kind of navigate, you can go ahead and give me a survival check.
Sure.
And as you do the survival check, you'll see that Pebble just kind of very briefly lets off a little glow, and you're getting guidance from Rock. He said he was going to
Guidance
try
is plus D4.
D4, yes. 18. All right. You've seen another cluster, Ben, of it, but they're not purple. They're green, and that just leads you. They look similar, but they're much smaller and they're green. If you want to, you can give me a nature check to try to figure it out. 26 total on the survival is great. Cielo, you are a little frustrated in just how slow it feels like you guys are traversing. You're usually really nimble on your feet and really able to move quickly, but just by the density of just the root structure and whatever moisture gets down in here seems to stay. It's a jungle. It's pretty muggy. It's kind of like not quite a sauna, but it does leave everything to be a little slick, a little moist, and the ground is spongy. Sometimes you're stepping on foliage and you feel like it almost goes down to your knees, just of like dead leaves and dead plant matter. That does also leave this continuous kind of scent of vegetative rot. That is associated, not in an unnatural way, but it does just make this traversing just kind of more irritating, more frustrating. You feel like you could be going quicker, but it's almost like the land itself, the jungle itself, is up against you. But yeah, Ben, like I said, you see smaller ones, but they're green. If you want to give me a nature check, you can. If not, then you can just continue forward.
Ben's wise enough to know that you don't mess around with things that you're not really sure about, so I'm going to leave those alone.
Okay, got it. So, anyone else doing anything right now? Or just trusting the path? Cool beans. So as you guys are continuing to traverse, you hear the different sounds. Let's see real quick on your character sheets, because I don't have everyone's open. Karos would see something. Okay. I have way too many tabs open, so forgive me. I think almost every one of you has a passive perception of 20 or higher. I think. Just about everybody. Yeah. So it'd be Rock, Cielo, literally everyone but Davis. So at as you guys are kind of keeping traversing, everyone's kind of just looking around and scanning. Cielo, you notice it first, and then as you're about to turn around, you notice that everyone's eyes seem to drift to the same tree except for Davis. Davis is just kind of huffing it, kind of working. It's difficult through here. There's this tree, and in the tree, up like 50 or 60 feet up, before the canopy, this is one of the taller trees here. It just looks brown and leathery, like this massive, like brown leather, uh,
On the tree?
like on the tree, and it seems to just be like all like it seems to just like encompass this, like surround the tree about 60 feet up. Just massive, just kind of squirming brownish leather. Everyone seems to notice it, but Davis, as you guys are walking.
I think I would I'm not sure. I guess everybody would be watching for me, I guess, but I would put my hand up to, like, you know how, like, wordlessly saying to stop?
Alt hand, yeah.
Yeah. I would do that. Um and I guess I don't have the horn, but I'm just gonna like lightly whistle loud enough that we would hear it.
Gotcha. So as you kind of, like, Davis, you hear that, and you just instinctively like look towards the sound. And you see Cielo. You see everyone else has stopped, and they're all kind of looking up at the, and they're looking up as this is one of these trees that's about 60 feet up the tree. You now see it, and it's just this covering of blackish brown leathers that just seems to kind of jitter a little bit. There's little tufts of fur coming through it, and it's just like all like amassed around this base before, well, not the base, but the upper part of the tree before it just starts to canopy out.
There's like something up there, but it's not natural.
Yeah. So as you do see, you see it. And as you kind of, Davis, as you're kind of scanning, kind of getting your eyes, go ahead and give me a perception check. Okay, yeah, you're just kind of focused on what everyone is seeing. Everyone's kind of looking. Yeah, but you do see the leathery mass. And I should ask, anyone else doing anything, or how are you guys proceeding? What's the plan? Rock. As your brigandine armor kind of appears from the ring. Rock will. I mean, if it's not going to bother us, do we just keep going? Walk around over the pond?
Yeah, I mean, that would be best. Just step quietly. Let's keep going.
Alright. So if you guys are stepping quietly, I need stealth checks for everybody. And
I'll get to Ben and cover his armored ass.
Got it. And Ben, yeah, you're following your initial, like, the path. It does tell you just keep going in this direction. Okay, 5 stealth. Got it.
So what does Cielo's thing do for my stealth again?
You just roll normally instead of disadvantage.
No.
I thought that's how it was.
No. That you give someone your stealth check is how yours works.
Oh,
Oh,
that's much better.
Yeah, you're smuggling him, essentially, is what you're doing. You're like, all right, come on, buddy.
Hey, Ben, you got a 33 stealth. Good job. You did
Woo!
it.
And full plate. Fuck you guys.
Yeah. Okay, so we got 33, a 5, a 3. Karos can hold his breath if you want to. and it removes, it makes him weightless, essentially. So it removes a disadvantage. Okay. Got it. Okay. Hey, if someone wants to roll for Karos, D20 plus 6. Yeah, did you fall asleep, Corbin?
I rolled a 14 for Carlos on the die, so whatever his
Yeah.
bonuses are.
6, 20? Okay. Let me text Al. Corbin! Fall asleep? Last time I like actually directly messaged him was frickin' P97 when we were doing lunch shop and stuff. Oh, there you go.
I
You
was trying to
alive?
go with Max. What happened?
Oh, stealth check.
Stealth check? Okay.
Did you hear the leathery mass and everything? Did you get that?
I missed part of it.
Okay, so there's a tree tops there's one tree that it starts to canopy out about 60 feet above, so it's one of the taller trees, and right before it canopies out, about 10 feet thick, or below and all the way up, it's just this leathery mass of black and okay, nice, 27. Like black and brown leather, just some little tufts of fur. It seems to swimmer and move every bit. So as you guys kind of go slowly, start moving, Cielo and Al and Cielo, Al, Karos, and Ben are able to just kind of get a little bit ahead, kind of following Cielo. You guys kind of move quickly. And then Davis, as you go to step and Rock, you guys are kind of not, you're kind of being a little bit more cautious than you guys step on a pile of vegetation that seems to be like covering up what would have been like a little bit of a pit hole, and you guys kind of you feel yourself kind of fall, and you, when your armor, Davis, you kind of clink down and hit hard on one of the roots that's exposed, and it makes this, and the mass above just kind of, and hundreds of bats just scatter out, and they just start swarming up above the trees, and then you realize that as that spooks that mass, another spooks, another mass spooks, another, and all these trees just have hundreds, if not thousands, of roosting bats, and they just all spook out. They start to fly amongst the canopy, kind of get out of sight. And that was the leathery mass. It was a bat roost. Yeah. No, I get you. I get you. And then Davis, as you're kind of getting up, Rock kind of in the same kind of position, kind of helps you guys kind of help each other up. You, as you're kind of watching it, all of you see this blur of motion up in the sky, just kind of make impact to one of the bats, grab it, and start flying off. If you guys want to give me a perception check, you guys can. Remember, Rock has advantage because of his shield. Oh, it didn't loop the music. I didn't set it up right. All right, I'll fix that. This one, I need you guys on loop, please. Yeah, Davis. That's fine. 20 is plenty, so you can. We'll say that you see like the muddled feathers, blacks and whites, stripes on the tail, a little bit of crowning feathers. You just see a crowned eagle just come in and swoop in, just reminding you there's predators and prey everywhere you go through this woods. And just with one quick swoop, you see its back talon just impale the bat. It starts flying off with a quick meal. And as you do keep moving, another stop to re-up the bond, another application of the repellent, as it does seem to fade after a few hours or get a little bit weakened. And you guys continue trekking forward. Davis, sorry, I said Davis. I meant to say Ben, continuing to follow, the mental path, doing your best to work with Cielo to kind of plot your course. Cielo, again, it's a little frustrating. You feel like you guys should be going a little bit faster. But hey, you're still making
We
progress.
didn't have all these people here. God.
Uh,
Yeah, I'd be so much faster than you all.
uh, but you do start to see yellow because you're kind of leading. You do hear the slow, steady little trickle of low, low water, like maybe like a quick little stream or a little small jungle tributary or something. But you do hear the flow of some water. Uh, by all means, doesn't sound rushing. It sounds like it's just barely trickling. Um, and you do start to notice as you guys are kind of approaching, and it does seem like it's starting to get darker out there, and it's starting to now be even darker in here. That some of the plants are starting to, the leaves begin to naturally fold up as they're not needing to. Well, they don't have sunlight to catch. But what you then notice is that on some of the various plants now other plant life is emerging, kind of akin to how like you see a shift in the life in coral. It's kind of doing something similar here in this jungle as you start to see just emerging from the various parts of the bark these uh, biofluorescent uh, blue stems just begin to kind of creep out, and then eventually they start to just bud and bulbs out uh, just all over the place.
Huh.
They, Cielo, they are oddly familiar,
Have
but
I been
not,
here before?
maybe not here, but you've seen something like this in somewhere that you've traversed before. And you've never
Like the green
found,
buds and stuff? Like giant green buds?
well, they're blue. I can
They're
actually
blue.
put you on a little bit of a map to kind of help you here. So I don't know how lighting's going to be since they've been editing things, so just forgive me. I got to see what the stream sees.
Lighting seems fine.
Okay. Because I'm waiting for it to focus. There we go. So yeah, you can see. So, all right. So for context on this map, you are underneath all these plants, but I can't like put you underneath there. So what you're looking at is what they call like a broccoli top view. So imagine like you're a drone 100 feet in the air and you're looking down. So you're looking at the top of trees. So everything is difficult terrain, unless if you have a square that is like entirely void of any other extra vegetations. Everything's difficult terrain here. Um, and yeah, what you're seeing is the these blue stemmings just kind of it doesn't sound like you don't hear like the creaking and cracking of wood. It just seems like they just naturally emerge out of the various just all over these plants from the bark, and it's almost like these bioluminescent mushrooms or corals emerge. But yeah, you've seen something similar to it in your sets of travel in a different realm before.
I'm gonna make sure my mask is tight, but I kind of want to like walk up to one and pop one.
Yeah, go for it. You can. You have to make your way. So as most of them are a little bit higher up, but then you do find one that's pretty low, about 3.5 feet off the ground, so just within your arm's reach. You kind of walk up to it. It's got these bioluminescent. As you poke it initially, it does brighten up a little bit more, and you kind of get your dagger to kind of poke it. You plunge your dagger into one of these little bulbs. It's probably about the size of a golf ball, and it just a pop, and there's no spores, there's no gas that gets released. It just pops, and it just kind of like sadly just that kind of droops, and that little bit of stem just kind of recoils in, and then you see like the rest of that structure begin to kind of like recoil into the bark of the tree.
This This stuff doesn't seem dangerous, but I feel like I've seen this stuff before. I'm not sure what it is. This is weird. But I don't think I've been here before. Just stay close, but let's keep going.
Hmm. So you guys are kind of, so as you guys, I will kind of let you guys move a little bit, and let me, because I will have to do the light manually through here. But as you guys are moving, again, the same kind of more difficult terrain, but it is getting kind of harder and harder to move because the light is rapidly fading and diminishing. But there is this faint glow, as mentioned, kind of coming from this fey coral. However, it doesn't necessarily like a light like provide proper illumination. Um, yeah, it's like you can see it and you can see just a little bit around it, but that's about it. As you guys, oh,
Hello.
hello,
Can
please help.
can I take a sample of the Chloe fun stuff?
Sure. How are you getting the sample? Like, are you putting it in something or?
Yeah, I'll just put it in one of my products that already has like
Okay.
stuff like that, right? Like
Yeah.
I've collected flowers and
Yep. Go ahead and give me a nature check, if you would be so kind.
okay. 19.
19, yeah, easy enough. Are you taking something from what was popped by Cielo? Or are you trying to take like a full, like a branch of it? Are you trying to take like a pot? Like how much are you trying to get? Like, are you trying to get a sample of the entire thing or what's inside of?
Well, the entire thing would be nice.
Okay. So you find one that's about, branching out, that's about 5 feet off the ground within the bark. And you kind of look at the base and you kind of grab it firmly. And as you grab it firmly, it doesn't necessarily react too much. Like you kind of feel the blue buds kind of try to retract in just a bit. And you give it a little tug, but it doesn't necessarily pull out. So you go ahead and take your knife and you kind of cut a portion out. You kind of look at it, it almost has like where you cut it, it almost has like how aloe vera has like this clear center, and it's wet, but it's still the cell membranes are still kind of keeping it in. You would have to like squish it or damage it for it to start actually properly leaking. So you got it, and you kind of add it to one of your pouches. Nice. So yeah, you got a sample of it.
Okay, thank you.
Marb would be proud. That is true. So yeah. So as Cielo, as you continue to guide, Ben, your magic, your spell is telling you guys to just keep going, try to traverse through this area. You're certain you're on the right direction. Cielo, if you would go ahead and give me a survival check, as in the last 30 minutes, it's drastically changed. It's like a whole other type of jungle
What? Did we just teleport?
now.
I'm gonna turn back and does it like look like we walked here or is it like
Yeah,
all the same
yeah.
around us?
No, it's the same. It's just like, just that as what light had become diminished and reduced that was making it through here, you can see that it's just like this environment cycle. Just it's going into night mode essentially in here.
This place is beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
It's like reminding me of something, but I don't know what it is.
Yeah, go ahead.
No.
Be nice to him.
I
That's
did.
kind of funny. That's kind of funny.
25, 24 total. I did
24
forget to
total.
do my survival check.
That's
Thank
okay. So, no, I appreciate the getting lost in it. All right, so hopefully that updated just a little bit.
I was lost in a world of whimsy. You don't interrupt these things. God.
Yeah, you jerk. Alright, let me get some more light spots. There'll be a light spot here, a light spot here. I guess I can put a light spot there. Be a little light spot here. Yeah, that's good. Okay, I'm happy with how that's being illuminated. So, oh, I gotta go on this later. So with that, Cielo, you continue to kind of navigate your friends moving through. You do hear like the insects chirping, some higher pitched squeals and squeaks kind of coming through, and the fluttering of wings up above. And as you look up, you do see like the bats are now being active. You hear some things dropping from above in the canopy as it looks like the nocturnal feeders are out, and some of them are getting to the fruits on plants, and as they're eating, they're dropping a portion of what they're eating, and fruits are kind of coming cascading down. Can I, for the sake of, as you guys continue progressing forward, can I get to 26? You're able to make your way, kind of continue moving you guys here. Trying to remember your general marching orders. Yeah. Yeah. And you can kind of hear the water just kind of streaming and trickling in all around you. As you kind of look up, you do see like series of vines that are various vines that just latch on to different trees and different plants, and it just kind of becomes like this merger of like life and greenery. Anyone doing anything? Or anyone focusing on anything? Anyone particularly interested on anything? While I update the lighting on the map again.
Adam, when we did the reapply, did I use 2 more fruit?
Yes, sorry, yes. That's fair. No, but I get it. Yeah. Gotcha. So I want to see how that looks on the stream. Yeah, you get little pockets of light off to the distance. Good, okay, cool. All right. So as you guys are continuing to traverse, can I... Oh, way back when? The deep root? Um, no, it's different. This is very much... Yeah, I get you, but not in that way. Yeah, fair. There's a moment where you're a little cautious because of your interaction with the wisps and the ano. Uh, but no, it's different. This is a very different environment. Um, and as you guys are kind of traversing forward, can I get D6s from everybody just to see what wildlife is within the proximity or what natural phenomenon you might run into, or maybe nothing. But I need D6s from everybody. All right, we got a 3, we got a 5, we got a 1. Corbin, snackies or sleepies? Corbano. CJ, also, if you can roll, let us know. Okay.
If I can roll a what?
A D6, please.
Oh, I'll have to do it online.
That's fine.
5.
5. Okay, so we'll just use that other 1 for that. Okay, so we got a 1, a 1, a 3, a 3, and a 5, and a 5. Wow, okay, very consistent. All odd numbers. Interesting. Okay. So, as you guys are kind of traversing, you hear Cielo as you're kind of leading the point and being the most aware of your surroundings, still trying to, make sure everyone's daisy chaining through. You hear the sounds of some brushes again, there's not very much like low-lying shrubbery bushes, but there seems to be a little bit more exposed and maybe some lower-lying shrubs down here just because of the proximity to water, and it does leave some sort of clearage, and it does allow some of the smaller types of bushes to live. And you hear some like something kind of moving around in y'all's proximity.
Oh, something is round us. Like, I'm not sure if they know we're here, but there's probably pretty good odds that they already know we're here.
Let's see. So as you're kind of walking, kind of having a quick discussion. Wow, the zoom is being really weird. You see a furred, kind of like a brownish furred quadrupedal creature kind of emerge from the brush, look towards you, and to start to move in towards you, and then as it takes a step towards you, it just vanishes, and like in a puff of eerie smoke, and then it lands kind of behind the group and just continues moving.
Wow. Did you all see that? That was amazing. We should learn how to do that. What was it?
You can give me an Arcana. Wait, let me make sure it's Arcana. I have a chart for what type of check it is to identify things, and I always lose it. And I just put it like on every page, so I can always find it. It is a yeah. Give me a nature check, Cielo.
Okay. Ooh,
Not necessarily, but it's a good guess.
I got a natural 20 for a 33.
That is a fey creature known as a blink dog. No, you guys haven't.
But I might know what it is.
Yeah, you definitely do know what it is because you rolled so well.
That was just like a blink dog. A blink dog. Like it's aligned with like I don't know, whimsy type. It's from somewhere completely different.
And
Maybe kind of like where I'm from.
got a nasty bite.
Unless you piss off like 900 of them, but that one didn't seem to. No.
You can give me a perception check, Davis, if you want. Yeah, so you'll hear some rustling behind you again, and it'll kind of do this, and as it approaches Karos, you'll see it blinks past him.
That was rough. We got to work on your.
No. Yeah.
I mean, I know performer, but I thought you were good on stage.
Not true. It is not Nugget as much as you want it to be Nugget.
No, it's not. Well, I don't think
Balance again.
I see it like coming towards me, and I like put my hands out, but it blinks through me.
Yep.
Well,
and
it's kind of just like looking at us. There's probably a bunch more, but they're not hostile. They're just here. Maybe on accident. Well, I mean, wouldn't you be interested in whatever the hell we are?
guys
Well, I'm
are
not
very
sure this
boring.
blue stuff is natural because blink dogs aren't that natural.
If anyone is proficient in nature or arcana, you can give me a roll, and I will continue moving you guys in the direction that I think Cielo would be taking you
Yeah.
guys.
Right. Yeah. Perfect. With our new dog that we totally won't kill.
Okay.
I don't want a dog. No.
Okay, so yeah, nature or arcana. If somebody wanted to do that.
Sorry, that's to find out about the new pet, right? New
Welcome
friend?
back. Welcome back.
I'm working on it. I'm working on it.
I know, yeah,
No problem.
we're just giving you shit because we can.
Yeah, we have a blink dog.
Sorry, I've been listening for the last 5 minutes. I just missed the roll. I heard
Oh,
Arcana or Nature. I was like, oh, I can do that.
yeah. So
Are
Over
we
here, blink
sure it's
dog.
uh?
New pet.
Are we sure it's blink dog and not a couple of them blinking around?
Well, I know
More friends, more better.
they're not gonna be easy to find, especially with all this glowing blue shit everywhere. But if there's, well, the thing is, this one is just like inspecting us, right? But I mean, if one is inspecting us, it's not inspecting us for itself. You'd have to assume there's like more out there somewhere, maybe close enough. But
You're thinking too
I
hard
hope
about this. You're being too thorough. We
you're right.
got a
I'm
new
almost out
friend.
of breath. God.
I want to know more about Blink Dog. How's he doing?
all right. So
I got a 12
Oliver
Arcana.
Arcana. So Al, it's not too unheard of to, have creatures that are associated with other realms bleed over. Like there might be realms where the fabric between the veils is a little bit thin, and as you guys have been trekking through here, you do see some Fey bind influence here in this jungle, and it is a Fey creature, so it could make some sense that a Fey-like creature is able to naturally traverse this and maybe call this area home. But that's about all that you can maybe think of right now. Though it is no, I was gonna say with a 12, what little you know about blink dogs, you're just kind of guessing with dogs. It's kind of odd that it would be by itself
Hmm.
because if it's a dog, it normally works in a pack, right? As it blinks by you. But
Yeah.
Al, this time as it gets like close to you, you can kind of see that its maw opens up and it kind of, but doesn't bite. It just blinks by you, kind of being a little bit more aggressive, maybe a little bit more bold.
I'll be kind of like where are your friends at before he opens his mouth. I'm like, ah.
Yeah.
Gonna take my hand back.
Continues to move the group through this difficult terrain. And see how you're starting to see actual, like, the actual stream, the little low lying, very slow trickling kind of water. And now it's kind of up to you where you want to traverse the group.
Um,
Let me get some more light sources for you guys.
so I mean, there's like a clearing to the right that goes somewhere, but it's if is like what we see is intended for what we see, right?
Yeah, essentially. Like I'm just kind of dynamically doing the light for you guys. So you can kind of
Got you.
get an
Okay.
idea.
Perfect. Well, we could follow the stream. It's not that deep, so we could probably trudge it and follow it to the left. We could also go to the right. There's another path that way, but there's one straight ahead. Is anybody feeling lucky? Anybody want to take a guess? Ben's not that lucky. Well, that we he could find.
I point in the direction.
Okay. Most direct would be heading to on the map. It would be heading to the right on the map at this point. So it would be going this way. To the right.
So, are there really tall trees?
Yeah. So keep in mind, the vast majority of the trees are 40, 50, 60 feet up. There are some that crest even higher than that. But as you're going closer to where the water is, there is actually a little bit of breakage, and there are some smaller, shorter 20-foot trees, and even some shrub-like plants.
I have an idea. Hey, well, I mean, a lot of you could probably accomplish this yourselves. I'm not that heavy, but is any? I was thinking Karos, but can anybody help me out? Like, get me on top of one of those trees, so maybe we get like a good look ahead on some of these. Just a little bit more of a clue. It might come up with nothing, but no, not throw me. Like, I want you to jump up with me. If you throw me, I might never come back. Remember, I died. Well, I'm still here, but are you sure?
All right. If you're going up, go ahead and give me an athletics check to jump up and climb. $16. So Karos kind of approaches one of the trees. I guess he would now move his way closer up. So give me a second. So he'd be up here with. And as he's going to jump, the blink dog kind of moves by, and as Karos goes to jump, the blink dog actually bumps into him and throws him off, and he's leaping. Kind of takes his feet out from under him, and he takes 4 points. As a hard landing.
I thought you could help. Ow. Rookie mistake. I'm just kidding. That's. It's a little muddy if you slip, I guess. Yeah, you're right. I mean, we are right next to the water.
Cielo, as you see, as you're kind of having a discussion with Karos as he's getting up, you see two black furred, like two black, like almost tendrils, just kind of lash out from the bush, from below in the dark lying kind of shrubbery, and they both kind of scraping upon Karos, trying to. Well, we'll see what they try to do. This, an entity makes its presence aware.
I know what it is, but that's me, the player, not. Yeah.
Extremely classic. I'm throwing classics at you here just for fun.
I like it.
Yeah, well,
Hey,
I mean,
this was
but...
in the D&D movie. I know what it is. Yeah. It was
I
in the
don't remember.
maze.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, he was in the
So,
maze. He was projecting astral project or projecting and tricking people.
all right. So he
Well,
is
speaking of that, did you guys see the Dungeons and Dragons cartoon characters?
No.
no.
If you, that's the other group that's in there. If you
Oh.
look at them and look at the old D&D cartoon, that's the characters.
Oh, cool. I actually didn't notice that. That's cool. All right, I'm actually gonna roll. Let me get some dice because maybe. Oh no, the cat's eyes are. Both Ziggy's and Jones's eyes both opened immediately as the sound of dice. Like,
Guys?
die? What are those? All right. A 24 to hit Karos and a 25 to hit Karos. As you see you don't see much. You just see these two whipping, 6, maybe 7 foot long, thin, live tendrils just come out of the, like essentially the darkness because there's not very much light in here, and they have these rows and rows of hooked barbs that almost look like where suckers should be, and just rake across Carlos and start to rip across his flesh. As he takes, I will roll the damage though in here because it's a little bit easier. So it's 2 hits. I'm just gonna roll them both together. Is it a reaction or is it a what's the? It is okay. That's cool. Yeah, that's fine. Gotcha. So he takes 25 points of bludgeoning and mix of bludgeoning and piercing damage as they rake over him. Yeah, from to what? Yeah, that's 2 hits. I just put them all together. Yeah. And so it's 2d6 plus 4 plus 1d6. 2d6. Yeah. So it's a d6 plus 4 plus a d6. Yes, on each. Yeah. But the reaction doesn't reduce damage. It's just which one are you doing? It reduces his damage? I thought it was just half cover. Oh, he's never done that. Got it. Okay, cool. Yeah. He's had this the whole time. I thought you were doing ball work. Got it. Okay, yeah. So, all right. So D4, 14 off of it. Okay, got it. Yeah. Okay. So take off 14. Yeah. So as he quickly kind of pulls up this mental barrier as the second tendril goes to rake and try to pull him, it misses. And yeah, we'll go ahead and get the dice roller up. Where is it? Initiative. Where did they put the initiative tracker now? There it is. Boop. Boop. I gotta get used to everything. All right, let me clear this real quick before you guys move. Yes, clear. All right, you guys are free to roll initiative, and if I need to add you to the tracker, let me know. I need to name this thing. Displacer 1.
How am I supposed to calculate my initiative?
Oh shit. All right. Teleportation spells. I think we said you had like 4 or 5 of them on you, right?
But they have to be prepared, right?
They are prepared. Yes.
Okay, I'll count them. I got.
Thank you. And then what we'll do is we'll set up this roll. We'll get initiative going, and then we can get like a quick break, get some bathroom, get this, and then we'll get you guys into combat when we come back from break. I just want to get initiative started. All right. It's supposed to be 15, and I'm not going to do the dot because I don't want you to metagame. All right, and add Ben to the turn order.
I have 5 of them.
5. Okay, so D20 plus 5, and you get advantage because of your shield. So.
Okay.
Yeah. Allegretto, initiative
There
when
goes
you
Lao.
can.
I still only got a 12.
Still.
I rolled a 3 and an 8.
Did I close roll 20? What the hell?
Uh-oh, yeah.
Gosh,
Yeah.
what the hell?
Yes, and I'm adding Cielo, and then where's Karos? Add Karos, and Karos
I'll just
is...
roll initiative here on D&D Beyond and tell you. Hold on one second.
Yeah. Karos is not prone. He was just... I'll edit. 19.12.
24.
0.20.
24.
24.20. Got it.
Yep.
Okay, I believe I got everybody. Cielo, Karos, Al, Davis, Displacer, 1, Rock, and... Oh, Ben's name doesn't show up. Why is that?
Well, I
Oh.
think I'm having an issue with Roll20 because all I see is a black screen. Let me reload it.
Oh, wait, that...
You
Okay.
might not be on the right part of the map or something. Because we're in a fog of war.
Yeah, let me grab it, because, again, that's what's weird about the lighting. Let me see Ben real quick. No, you should
Yeah,
see...
I can't see any tokens. All I see is black.
You don't see Davis, Al, and part of Rock?
All I see is a black screen.
Interesting. Because here, I'll show you. So yeah, Roll20 is doing something funky. Go ahead, yeah, refresh, because I'll take a screenshot of what I see through your eyes,
Vision of the
according
phone's
to the
been kind of
game.
weird lately.
So this is like what Ben should see. I'm putting it in Materia Menagerie channel, based on what Roll20 tells me he should see. So let me see if I can fix that for him.
Yep, I see none of that. So I'll show you. I'll share real quick.
Excuse me.
So that's
Sorry
what
for
I
coughing
see.
and Mike. Oh my gosh, I forgot to mute.
Weird. All right. What if I do this?
Oh, I see something now.
Okay, cool. All right, that's what you're supposed to see. Perfect. All right. Cool. All right. All right. Eddie, yes, I know it's frustrating because of the lighting. It's meant to be frustrating because of the lighting, the environment. Yeah. So some of you that have a difficulty seeing, it's part of the thing. So sorry, you said Karos has a chess piece? All right. Yes, that's what I want to do. But the thing is, I think if I give, so it's a non-generic token, all players save, he loses his vision, but you can just use your vision to control him. All right, cool. All right, when we come back, we'll see what happens.